Good morning. Still having my coffee. I had the first 2 cups on my back porch. Been up since about 3. I've had my PTSD going off since sometime Friday morning, and it's just a fact of life. It's I have so few triggerings these days, and the ones that I have are relatively mild. I mean, it's not pleasant, to be sure, but it's also not. It used to be debilitating, right? It used to be a thing that would shut my whole life down. And at this point, with sleep, and so, I have a constant self-care regimen anyway, but because I learned a long time ago that you can't treat self-care like a thing that you just do when you need it. You've got to, if you love yourself, you've got to love yourself all the time. And you got to treat yourself with love all the time, with respect all the time, as much as you can. Now, of course, we all eat things probably we shouldn't. We all, most of us don't get enough exercise, all of those things we can, but in the ballpark of life. Anyway, today is a day where I'm going to be quiet and at home. I often will try to work through these times, but there just gets to be moments where I recognize that, nope, my head's not going to function. And if I can't have my head in the game, then I should rest and let my amygdala settle down. It's not, it just takes a little bit sometimes. And the good news is I don't have it used to be that this is happening. Whoa, what's happening to me? I don't understand my life. And it truly was. My understanding was down here. Needed to get up here. And eventually it got there. If you don't hold it down, it'll float. Much like a large person in a baptistry. I had some experiences with. Got to hold him down long enough to get the full immersion effect. But anyway, so it's just been a weekend of just continuing. I don't, other than resting and sometimes taking work off, sometimes maybe hiding in my room and napping more. That's about the extent of it. I already know what's happening. I understand why. I even understood why I was triggered and what happened in the moment. I know what to do about it. I know what I can't do about it. And it becomes a moment of acceptance. And, we spend our lives being programmed, right? We start right out of the gate with, we're being programmed and we're being illusioned, right? It's not it's an illusion in the sense that what we think is going on around us and what we see with our eyes and hear with our ears and smell with our noses, we are the ones interpreting that in the back of our skulls. And it is not, our interpretation is always through the lens of fitness, mood, all of these things that are variables in the human condition, and parts of it. So anyway, get these moods, get these triggers. If you don't feed them, be quiet. Playing music helps. When you can take and make this sound, you're taking noise and you're making it beautiful, right? Well, in the eyes of the ears of the beholder, I guess, the bee listener. Anyway, so here I am. I actually had a great weekend. That's what's, the paradox is that if you can accept the things and not cling to expectations and programming and all of that, then you can just have your experience of life. My body can be kind of jacked up and, take a bubble bath, take a nap, have a sandwich, have an orgasm. So many different ways that humans can regulate their physical situation with an impact to their emotional landscape. Take a walk. Eat a cookie. So anyway, I took today off. I'm going to just lay low, get the girls to school, quiet rest of the day. Might find a forest. Don't know yet. I'm not sure what I'm up to, but whatever it is, it'll be restorative. And I've been going back and forth on when am I going to work on this nonfiction book, or I'm going to work on a novella, nonfiction book, novella. And I've been thinking, well, why not both? So I think I'm just going to start. I'm going to start 2 files, and I have most of the files probably laying around already. But I think I'm going to just get 2 of them, keep them open on my desktop, just start adding away. So sometimes we make it harder than we need to in the way we see. Trying to think of what I want to sing. Hey, James. Lines and crimes and clowns and me are hanging from this Judas tree. I try to shake this thorny crown, pull out those nails and come on down. I'm held fast by someone else's past and pain, someone else's past and pain. Signs and times and harmony, and scars and art are parts of me. They are the soup that saves my soul, the shattered mirror that cuts me whole. And I'm held fast by love that lasts in you, by love that lasts in you. It's called Love Song to My Future Self. And I don't know, but I've been told that heaven's streets are paved with gold, but it seems more like blood to me. Baby, that's the mystery. And I'm held fast by love that lasts in you, by love that lasts in you. I think the 2 most important things that we do in life are finding ourselves and loving ourselves. If you find yourself, but you don't love yourself, what are you going to do? Can't love anybody else. Can't receive love from anybody else till you really love yourself. If you never find yourself, then you're constantly looking around outside of you for something. Looking for somebody else to fill that hole up. Or, as an analogy I like, all those times I'm walking around the house and I see a candy wrapper on the floor. It doesn't matter who left it there. Every time I step over it, I'm saying it's okay for it to just stay put. So, finding and loving myself were the two, I would say the two things that probably have done the most to help lift me up out of the soup, right? I came out of this pretty dark origin story when I don't talk about the stories of my childhood a whole lot, being threatened with pistols and rifles and hunted, playing the runaway slave game, being draped in chains, riding a motorcycle or running away in chains while my stepfather chased me on a motorcycle, shooting at me with a BB rifle. We were playing the escaped slave game. So I grew up in a soup, man. I have great reasons for this complex PTSD that's dogged me my whole life. Didn't even know I had it. Knew something was up. Started using the 12 steps back in the 90s when I left the ministry. Not because of any addiction issues, but because I could see that there was a great deal of natural progression through how those worked. And so somebody pointed them toward me and I swam. And then eventually I found myself and I hated myself. And then I realized that who I found wasn't really me. It was all the stickers and labels and boxes that had been pushed upon me. And once I found me, the tiny acorn that started it all, and then went from there without the labels and the boxes, well, things started to improve radically for me. And so, anyway, this is the thing that I think about, I talk about with other people, because now that I've kind of figured out how to crawl out of my hole, I have a deep understanding of how holes work. And I have a lot of people in my life that I watch as they try and crawl out of their hole. So if you're in a hole, shoot me a note. We'll talk. Set up a chat time. Be here now. Stand with me. Place your hand with mine upon the bark of this redwood tree. Take a breath. Let it go. That space between holds all the peace you'll ever need to know. Follow that quiet feeling down. And darlings, be here now. Be here now. Lay with me on this blanket in the wind, while it whispers to the sea, hold my hand. Look toward home. When you meet my eyes like that, don't you know you meet my soul? Follow that heartbeat pounding down. And darlings, here now. And when the storm clouds fill your eyes and they overtake your smile, I know that you realize, oh, in just a little while, that every single question ever asked about the why or how is simply answered. Be here now. Be here now. Just be here now. Getting as close to the approximate moment as you can is a surefire way to settle down, usually. So much of our brains get tangled up in the future or the past. And they feel so real, but all we really have is now. Be here now. Watch with me. Harvest moon is rising yonder past that old oak tree. Stand and shout, get my own words, sing and dance. Life's upon you, you're alive. Every now's another chance. Every now is another chance that we get, right? Whether it's to say we're sorry, to try that thing, to finish that thing, to commit to that thing, whatever it is. Every now is another chance. So it's never too late. I mean, until you run out of heartbeats and breath. If you're sitting around waiting for everything to start after you're done, you got big problems. Follow those freedom feelings down. And darlings, be here now. So one of my favorites of my songs. It's probably about 4 years old right now. Maybe 3. It's pretty recent. It has inside of it everything that I think if a person can hear it, they could follow it up out of the hole. But many people will not. And that's because, every special snowflake is very special. Every special snowflake is very different. So if I raise the temperature just 1 degree or so, why are all my snowflakes one big puddle of H2O? One big puddle of H2O. Wow. Isn't it funny? All of our thoughts and feelings are like Smeagol's My Precious, right? My precious. We cling to them. We cling to our thoughts and feelings. We believe they're the truth. We are thinkers, right? That's the gift. That's the gift we get as creatures. We don't have sharp fangs. We don't have sharp claws. We don't have tough hide. We don't have a shell we can hide in. We're thinkers. And we feel our thinking. We have to feel our thinking, because if you didn't feel your thinking, you wouldn't obey it. And life wants your obedience. It's not God. It's not Yahweh up in the sky wants your obedience. Life does. Life wants you to go live. Life wants you to dance and go home with that girl at the bar and make a baby with her if you can. I mean, life doesn't give a shit about the stuff that we give a shit or think we give a shit about. Of course, we don't realize that we're all dressed up to go to life too, but we create these other, well, no, I mean, I'm just attracted to her. I'm in love with her. And we have all these things that we do to ourselves with our thoughts and feelings, whether it's our angry thoughts, our fearful thoughts, our lustful thoughts, whatever thoughts we're having. But it's all fitness. Every little bit, it's fitness. You're wired for fitness. And because you're a thinker who feels your feelings, you tend to believe those feelings. And then you tend to act on what you believe in. And so we're wired for fitness, but we don't want to think about that. We try very hard not to be. As Douglas Adams even noted, they never invite their ape-descended life forms to dinner parties because they don't want to deal with the fact that they used to be chimps, right? That they're a naked hunting ape. I don't like it. My dad sure didn't like it. He had a real problem with it. My dad also believed that the reason that black people had it so bad was because of a biblical curse from the book of Genesis on one of the sons of Noah who saw his father naked. So, low level of understanding. You can be old and have bits of wisdom in you and still be really, really low in your level of understanding how things really work. And when you separate your wisdom from your wildness, when you stop looking at that inner acorn that started out without all of the programming, that had imagination and insight as its greatest tool, when you start there, you peel all that back and you find yourself, and then you can love yourself. You don't have to love your labels and stickers. You can just get rid of those. But anyway, we all think that our thoughts and feelings are precious, like snowflakes. And we all think we are precious, like snowflakes. Your sense of self, that thing that drives you around in your head, your noggin, feels like a little guy driving a car, a little woman driving a car up here. That sense of self, it's an ego. And when people split hairs, so-and-so, it's got so much ego. We're egos. Your sense of I amness is just a great big inflated bit to catch the noise of all of life and then interpret it and give it a sense of urgency. That's why you have awareness. It's why you have consciousness. It evolved and emerged over billions of years. We can see it. We can see parts of our brain that we share in common with various species, including lizards. We evolved not to be autonomous, soul-driven beings. You're a committee. And part of your committee is this kind of slow kid who thinks he's in charge. And he's always telling me, hey, everybody, we're going to go get a drink of water. Long after the committee's already voted, you're going to go get a drink of water. Did you know that if you dried yourself out, a third of your body weight, I think it's a third, isn't even human? You've got all these critters in you. You're a system. You're a civilization in and of yourself, maybe many, a system of life going on. And the only part most of us are paying attention to is the story in our head that's being put together by all of the noise. And it is truly noise. It is sensing array details coming in that isn't necessarily the truth. But we believe it is. We have this imbued sense of urgency that's attached to our thoughts and feelings. It's also attached to our sense of self, right? It infuses it all with urgency. But you are more than your sense of self. It's who you are is much smaller, and yet made of star stuff. It's pretty amazing. I find it amazing. I think that considering there was a time in my life where I was just a preacher boy who only believed kind of the straight, cishet, white, patriarchal view of life, and very slowly let go of that because it had been programmed pretty hard into me. But that everybody thinks they're a special snowflake. Everybody. Put them in a room, raise the temperature, you got a bucket of water. H2O, pretty simple. Every snowflake is made of H2O, no matter how different it looks in its one frozen state. So, anyway, that's where I'm living. And I'm, feeling pretty good about how it's all emerging. It's kind of a rambling, quiet candlelit time this morning. I have to go get the kids woke up here in a bit for school, so. What am I going to do now? I'll do one more and then I'm going to go ahead and go. But should have a nice, gentle day and back to work tomorrow. I always thought, up until recently, I saw actually an interview. I thought that this song was referring to the Virgin Mary because I knew that the songwriter was Catholic. But it ends up that he was really talking about his mom who died when he was young. And I gave this song something really beautiful for me. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. In my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom. let it be. 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 Whispered words of wisdom, let it be. When all the broken-hearted people living in this world agree, there will be no sadness, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer. Let it be. Oh, let it be. 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 There will be no sadness. Let it be. Seems like letting it be, letting it go, holding it loosely so that it can be free, helps. When the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, and let it be. It's really true that even when I'm triggered these days, it doesn't touch my joy, because my joy is beyond the noise of all of that. I'll sing it again even. And when the night is cloudy, there's still a light that shines in me. Shine until tomorrow. Just one day at a time, right? Let it be. Let it be. Hey, Matt. Let it be. Let it be. Oh, let it be. There will be an answer. Let it be. Beatles. Let me see what time it is here. Yeah, I got about 5 minutes, so I guess I can do one more. That's so true. But where you point your eyes, there's a song, right, on Sesame Street. That's about the size. Where you point your eyes, that's about the size of it. Perspective, right? Anyway. Well, it's been a long, hard day. Why don't you get some rest? You ran a good, hard race. I know you did your very best. And sometimes, you know, second place is not that bad, no matter how it goes. What matters most is that you ran. It's been a long, hard day. I see you scraped your knee somewhere on the way. And now you'll have a scar like me. And sometimes, you know, the best gifts we get come wrapped in pain. No matter how far you go, you've been is still the same. It's been a long, hard day. Tomorrow's coming soon. It's just a sleep away. Oh, bright and shiny and brand new. And sometimes, you know, the reasons are a mystery, and that's the way it goes. And sometimes it's okay to let it be. All right, y'all, have a good Monday. I may be back. We'll see. But I'll catch you soon.